Have you ever noticed that the people who seem the most tired aren't the ones working the hardest? They're the ones who never stop thinking, not overworked, overwired. They replay a text message from 3 days ago. They rehearse conversations that haven't happened yet. They lie in bed at midnight, wide awake, not because anything is actually wrong, but because some part of their brain refuses to clock out. Here's the strange part. The same trait that makes these people so perceptive, so careful, so good at reading a room is also the exact thing wearing them down. That's not a coincidence. That's the whole story. Psychologists have a name for this: rumination. It's the mental habit of circling the same thoughts again and again, usually triggered by uncertainty, an unresolved conversation, or a decision that hasn't been made yet. And contrary to what a lot of people assume, ruminators aren't overthinking because they're fragile or anxious by nature. Often it's the opposite. Their brains are simply very good at detecting patterns, constantly scanning, constantly cross-referencing, constantly hunting for the meaning behind something. The issue was never the intelligence. It's that the mental engine doesn't come with an off switch. There's a real neurological story here, and it centers on two things: the prefrontal cortex, your brain's control room for planning, judgment, and self-analysis. In people who overthink, this area often stays switched on well past the point where it's useful, even during moments meant for rest. The default mode network, a system that runs quietly in the background whenever you're not focused on a task, generating the constant inner narration most people barely notice. In an overthinker, that narration doesn't fade into the background. It stays loud. Put those two together and you get a mind that's essentially always on call, drafting responses to arguments that haven't started, auditing decisions that were already made, prepping for situations that may never occur. This pattern rarely starts in adulthood. Most of the time, it's built early, often in childhood, in households where things felt unpredictable. Maybe a parent's mood could shift without warning. Maybe small mistakes carried outsized consequences. In that kind of environment, a child's brain does something remarkably logical. It learns to think ahead, to scan for danger before it arrives, to map out every possible outcome, because predicting the storm feels safer than being caught in it. Seen this way, overthinking isn't a personality flaw. It's a survival skill that never got the memo that the danger has passed. Not all overthinking is created equal. There are really two versions. Reflective thinking, turning inward to process a feeling, learn from a moment, or understand yourself better. Done in moderation, this is a genuine strength. It's tied to self-awareness and emotional depth. Brooding, a heavier, more passive version. Circling a problem without ever moving toward a solution. This is the version that eats into sleep, fuels indecision, and turns every social interaction into something to dissect afterward. The tricky part? Most people slide between the two without noticing. A moment of healthy reflection can quietly tip into a spiral, and because the brain feels busy and productive the whole time, it's hard to tell when you've crossed the line from processing into looping. Some psychologists call this the illusion of progress. Your mind feels like it's working the problem when really it's just running in place. Here's the part that explains why just stop thinking about it never works. Your brain releases a small dopamine hit whenever it's engaged in problem solving, and that includes imagined problem solving. So when you're mentally rehearsing an argument or running through 15 versions of a conversation, your brain is quietly rewarding you for the activity itself, not for solving anything, just for doing the mental work. That's a real chemical incentive to keep going, which means telling an overthinker to relax isn't lazy advice. It's advice that misunderstands the biology entirely. Now here's the twist most people don't expect. Research into rumination has repeatedly found a link between heavy overthinkers and higher cognitive empathy, the ability to sense what someone else is thinking or feeling before they say it out loud. Overthinkers tend to pick up on tone shifts, unspoken tension, the things left unsaid in a room. The same wiring that makes them exhausted is the wiring that makes them perceptive. But perception without resolution is draining. That's the trap. They notice everything, weigh every possibility. And somehow, the more they think, the further away clarity feels. Because here's the truth psychology keeps landing on. Your mind can't think its way out of everything. Some things need to be felt or decided or simply let go, not solved. What actually helps? Therapists who specialize in chronic overthinking usually aren't trying to shut the thoughts off. They're trying to change the overthinker's relationship to those thoughts. One tool from acceptance and commitment therapy is called Cognitive Defusion, learning to observe a thought instead of merging with it. Not, this is a crisis and I need to fix it, but my brain is generating a worry right now. Same thought, different distance. One version pulls you under, the other lets you watch it pass. So if you're someone whose mind never really clocks out, this isn't a defect. It's not proof that something is wrong with you. It's a highly capable mind that learned a long time ago to stay alert in a world that once felt unpredictable. The goal was never to stop thinking completely. The goal is to gently teach that mind something it hasn't fully believed yet. It's safe to rest now. We all carry mental habits shaped by things we didn't choose. Understanding where they came from doesn't erase them, but it does loosen their grip. And sometimes that understanding is exactly where things start to change.